Indian Space Agency ISRO has successfully accomplished a milestone 100th rocket launch. At 6:23 a.m. Indian Standard Time early this morning, the GSLV Mark II lifted off from the second launch pad at India's Satish Dhawan Space Centre in Sriharikota, Andhra Pradesh. Now, since the time India began taking nascent steps into launching rockets to space, the Satish Dhawan Space Centre spaceport has been India's gateway to orbit. Now, the 420-ton rocket carrying the 2.25-ton satellite lifted off majestically amidst the haze of the sunrise. Now, this was the 17th launch mission of India's GSLV Mark II rocket and the 8th flight of this variant with an indigenous cryogenic stage. The GSLV Mark II rocket carried the NVS-2 satellite, an Indian-built navigation satellite that is meant to serve civilian and defense users. The NVS is in fact the second in a series of 5 satellites that are being planned. Navigation with Indian constellation NAVIC is India's independent regional navigation satellite system. It is designed to provide accurate positioning, velocity and timing service to users in India and also in India's neighborhood. Simply put, this is a service that is very similar to the American GPS. The NVS series satellites are meant to augment the existing NAVIC services that are provided by an earlier generation of satellites. The WION's Siddharth MP has sent us this report from Satish Dhawan Space Centre in Sriharikota. Listening.
Over the last 5 decades, the Indian Space Agency ISRO has performed 99 launch missions from Satish Dhawan Space Centre in Sriharikota. This is 6 generations of rockets that have been launched from the spaceport here, and now we have the landmark 100th launch lifting off from Satish Dhawan Space Centre in Sriharikota. The 100th rocket, the GSLV Mark II rocket, the 422-ton vehicle, is lifting off, lighting up the dawn skies here at Sriharikota. Majestic liftoff we have right now, with a characteristic roar of the engines being heard all over for a several kilometer radius. This is a very important mission for India, not just because of the milestone 100th number, but also because of the NVS-02 satellite that this particular rocket is carrying. NVS-02, simply put, is part of a large constellation of Indian satellites. There's 5 satellites in the NVS series, and NVS is meant to be more like an Indian version of GPS, but of course it's not global. GPS, Russia's GLONASS, all of these are position, navigation and timing services. But the Russian and American versions are global in nature, whereas the Indian one is regional in nature. NVS satellites will cover Indian mainland and also 1500 kilometers from Indian mainland. So you could say more like South Asia region. So that's what this satellite will cover, and 5 satellites in the NVS series will eventually be launched, and this is the second one that's taking to the skies from Sriharikota. This is a mission that gains immense significance for India's strategic and civilian users, because the position, navigation and timing signals are the kind that will be used by our cell phones, common cell phones. At the same time, it will also be used by India's defense forces. From Sriharikota, Siddharth MP, WION World is One.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.